audience. What are you doing in the bedroom? Getting a nice different perspective here. Maniac Bricks, how's it going? I had something that I came across while cleaning that I just had to share here. And it's part of a thing that I used to do as a series last year called First, where I tried to share about my first experiences on different things. Some things I actually had tangible on screen. And this one is actually surprising. It's my first fan mail. First fan mail related thing that I would have created for somebody that I watched, the content creator online, but I never sent it. Yeah. So as far as the subject itself, I used to watch Tobuscus, Toby Turner, around like 2011, 2012, 2013 or so. I haven't really watched a long time since then. I I've seen things pop up here and there, and I just kind of fell out of favor. I was just like, okay, well, I found other stuff, and I just got watching those, or just mixing between all kinds of creators through YouTube. So that's how that went. And then I heard things that happened with Toby many years later, and I'm like, okay, maybe I won't go back, or at least I'll go back from the decade or the era, that's the right word, of when I had known about him. If I wanted to feel nostalgic, if I wanted to actually see something that I thought was cool, a lot of the music videos or little trailers or whatever the case, maybe some of the gameplays. I used to watch some Minecraft stuff regularly, like daily. It was something that actually got me into watching content that was in like 10 minutes or more on a regular basis, which I find kind of surprising nowadays because it's like, oh yeah, I'll sit through a 20-minute, 40-minute video at a blink if I need to. So this is the Tobuscus Dictionary of Epicosity. This was a project that I had created when I used to use DeviantArt a lot more often back then in high school. All kinds of silly projects or re-uploads of things that I made when I was a kid. I was able to find and write new stuff every once in a while. And I created this as a piece of fan mail that was intended to be sent to him in the mail. Now, to that point, I had not sent anything to anyone in the mail outside of family or friends, birthday invites, whatever the case may be. So this would have been big for me, but it never got sent. In fact, I don't think it ever got finished. And to be fair, up to this point, it probably won't be finished. I have no exact reason to continue going with it, but I still want to talk about it for today's video. Tobuscus Dictionary of Epicosity, created by Joseph Meluso and John Franek, with additional help from the Tobuscus community on DeviantArt. So this was also made with a friend of mine that I had in high school, about a year younger than me, and he and I both loved Tobuscus back then. We would watch so many of the videos, we would quote them, knew all kinds of stuff, and we had fun making this book together. I had started the idea, he got into it. Tobuscus was also going to be technically my first fan merch. Well, I don't know what the word would be, but like merchandise from a content creator online. I did want to get a green Tobuscus shirt, but never did. Never filled out, never ordered that. What the actual first one was, I'm going to have to look back on that. Not sure. Would have been quite a while later. To be fair, in retrospect, this is not really presented that well as a book. It's not really that well presented as as an original thing. It was literally just copy and pasted from what document was already available on DeviantArt, always updated with new things depending on the videos, and had very basic formatting, very basic font, not really getting the idea across or, looking that much more special inside of the rest of the book. There were no pictures in here. There's no framing. There's no heading. If I had actually sent this out, it would have looked very amateur, I will admit, even for that time, but definitely much more so today. But a lot of interesting stuff that was in here. Let's see. I'll read the description here. This dictionary of epicosity includes Toby Tobuscus, Joe Turner's most popular quotes, phrases, and made-up words. Next to each defined word or phrase is the source channel on YouTube where it can be heard. Instead of just quoting from like the exact video, I think that might have been too much effort. And some of them would just been so many videos. It would be not unnecessary. At least I knew that. The dictionary has been created over 8 months and covers several years of content from Toby Turner's 3 channels: the main channel Tobuscus, the vlog channel Toby Turner, and the gaming channel Toby Games. In November 2011, this dictionary was published on art sharing website DeviantArt, and the community was invited to add more words, phrases, and ideas. We, as an audience, in capital letter audience, have been able to not only include words and phrases, but also other features regarding Toby's YouTube success. Enjoy. So that's kind of like a little letter to go with it. I think that might have actually been the idea initially would have had its own separate page of a letter from me and from my friend John going through this. So it is in alphabetical order from how these words are found, and I would go back through and edit it over time, adding new words in here. And these are really just like quotable things. These are just fun things that I had found from his channel, you know, kind of unique stuff that he had created, inside jokes, whatever the case may be. And that's really the point of all this, is like, hey, there's a lot of fun stuff that you've been creating, a lot of entertaining like ways to describe things. It's not really a thick book, as you can see. I might actually tear this thing apart because it's a nice binder. I'd rather use it elsewhere, and I have no intentions of sending it at this point to be completely outdated. It's almost 10 years old. Yeah, I'll get to the back of it in just a bit. There is a I'm not going to read every single entry in here. There's way too many. If I still have the file available, I'll link it down below to the DeviantArt page where it last was updated. I don't think there were anything updated from there that wasn't in the book. I think it should have been like at the same point. I haven't really looked back on it since then. But yeah, these are all in alphabetical order. This is not printed that well either. There's like a couple things that are faded. Either that or it's just the font that was used. I don't know. It's just like really thin lettering a couple places. Annoying Orange. Toby Turner plays one of the few human characters on the show by Cartoon Network, based on a YouTube cartoon series. Source Toby Turner, for example. Audience. The fan base of Toby Turner, who often finds themselves in odd places during vlogs. Source Toby Turner, Tobuscus, Toby Games. So these are kind of like defining words, isms, you know, quotes and things. You know, Barber, a warrior who cuts the hair and head off of dragons. Source Tobuscus. You know, from all different kinds of videos. Biscuit, a nickname for a short or adorable person or animal. Like he calls his pets, like he call him a little biscuit or something. Cute Win Fail, a weekly video competition for 3 videos from each title category to compete to become the most epic. I think that was directly quoted from the video. Some of them might have been literally just as he explained it in the video, copy paste into here. So I don't know. Some of these didn't actually get a definition. Like, there's just Dad Buscus. I never wrote in what that was before printing it. Huh. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. And some of these are a little bit more basic. They're not entirely exclusive to Tobuscus. Like, I see in here, Booyah, a scream of victory. Okay, 2011 Joey. You didn't have to do that. Everybody says booyah and means it the same way, pretty much. Yeah, this is interesting to look through. I mean, granted, I can't really... What I'm showing you is literally the same thing as the first page. It's just the fact of reading through these names and actually recognizing these things and kind of like conjuring it back up in my head. Like, wow, I actually remember. Or that the fact that I was watching so much of his content back then. Like, he was one of the creators that I was subscribed to. I followed and subscribed to many creators, but he was one that I was keeping up with so regularly, so much at that point. Gabe Uscus, pronounced Gabe, pause, Uscus. Gabriel Turner, Toby Turner's friend since college, source Toby Turner. I do remember actually funding the Kickstarter campaign for a Tobuscus, I think, app. It was like a Tobuscus Adventures or something like that. I didn't do a high tier for it, but I did one of the ones where it's like, oh, you get a couple exclusive things with it. It was like these coloring pages or as a PDF or something like that. I'm sure I might still have access to them, or they might just be spread around. Who knows at this point? Excited for that game development, getting updates about that. I think that might have been one of the last pushes after around this thing. Healy Cops, Toby's profession of catching criminals with Healy shoes. Yeah, there's a lot of writing in here. Like, there's so many of these things that are just like, okay, it happened with the channel, or it didn't have to be. Give me it, give me that. The impolite but quick way to obtain an object. It's like, okay, yeah, that's a thing he said, but I don't think it's necessary that him exclusively, like any other Let's Play or any other channel might have used that in the same way. That's, in retrospect, it is kind of weird looking at some of these where it's like, okay, it's not that unique. Oh, wow, there is actually a picture in here. I don't know if I intended to put more pictures in here. That would be interesting if I actually added more pictures of things, like the different characters and different videos. LA, Los Angeles, the home of Toby Turner, Nathan, and Tobuscus, source Toby Turner. Again, it's like, yeah, everybody knows what Los Angeles is. It's not like it stands for something else exclusively for the channel. I don't know. Let's see. Literal trailer, a parody of a movie or video game trailer describing the actions and setting within the trailer. Source Tobuscus. And it actually does have a picture of the literal trailer for Assassin's Creed, I think 2 or Brotherhood. No, that looks like Revelations. I can't tell. It's funny. I brought Assassin's Creed into the house. I never really got a chance to play it because older brother syndrome, of course. That's how it happens. And then my brother was getting all the other Assassin's Creed games to play in the house, and I was like, well, when do I play? But now I probably could, but that'll be for another video. It'll be more fun talking about it another way. Lackadaisical. Lacking in a daisy flower. If you don't have a daisy, then you don't care. Okay, yeah. Source Toby Turner. Lazy Vlog. A daily video, which is unedited and usually describes the environment around Toby Turner at the time of recording. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. It literally is. Because most of the time I think it was just like he just had his phone. He was just recording what it was. No cuts originally. Sometime later he did cuts in between. And just talking about... It was daily too. Most secret... yeah, wow. This actually goes through the whole alphabet. There was an entry for every letter. Like Q. How many things can Toby Turner have that are Q? Here's what it is. It's only one entry. Quiz. A type of Happy Wheels level about answering trivia questions. Players use Pogo Pete to smash the glass of the right answer. If they choose wrong, death is usually the path. Source Toby Games. That's not exclusively a Toby Games thing, but it was featured on the channel. And I've watched Happy Wheels from many other people at that time. PewDiePie, from Markiplier, from you name it. So again, it's kind of weird looking at some of these because they're not... You can just tell I just watched a lot of Toby Turner. That's it. That's all the different channels and all the different isms, even if some of them are just regular. Subscribe. See, bada do 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 do. Subscribe. I know how it goes. Bada do 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 do. Subscribe. That's kind of stuff that just gets embedded in my head and never leaves. Son of a Biscuit, the censored version of SOB. Okay. Like, I'm sure other people have used that or something like it. Sponsor. A response after mentioning a brand name. Source Toby Turner, Toby Game. Even though it's not actually a sponsor. But I do remember that. I'm not gonna read that one. That's weird. um. Yeah. Even you. There's one entry for you. It just says, "Erg, my head fell off. Suffering accidental decapitation." Source Toby Games. Did that really? Like some of these didn't even need a definition, but it felt weird. I'm sure it's just the fact that he had said it multiple times that I had thought back then, whenever I was 17 or no wait, 2011. I was 16. Um, Whatever I thought back then, I was like, oh, he said that multiple times, or I found that funny in a video or something like that. I decided to write it in here. I do remember people from DeviantArt that were actually contributing things, so I don't know how many, again, were very Toby specific. There's two of them for V. One of them is Vlog, a video documenting a daily event typically made without editing the video. It gives the courtesy to a YouTube channel subscribers as to what to expect from the channel in the present or future. Source Toby Turner. That almost sounded like a real definition. Even though, again, it's not exclusively to him, it's just something that he's done. V, voicemail. Source Tobuscus. I didn't write the definition of voicemail? Or something funny that happened with voicemail on this channel? Alright, fine. There's a couple in T that are for Tobuscus. Tobuscus Adventures, Toby Games. Turt Biscull. Turt Buscle. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Turt Buscle. Toby's first Minecraft turtle who abused his girlfriend by pushing her into the lava hot tub. That was something that happened in a Minecraft video. I do remember that. And by pushed, it's like gently like, oh, the character, you know, the objects are just moving around and just... Interesting stuff. See, this is kind of funny. Reading this back. Slap bracelets. An excellent way to slap Tobuscus on your arm. Available with Loot Crate. Sponsor. Put in the parentheses. Slenderman. Toby Turner's worst nightmare, who appeared in games other than his own. He is taller than the average person, wears a black suit with a tie, has white skin, and no facial features. If he gets close to you, you'll see his tentacles emerge from his back and devour you. According to Toby, he has also been spotted in Happy Wheels and a Hamburg clothing store window. Yeah, that's kind of the more of a general definition. That's when Slenderman was big, was like pre-FNAF. I think now we're living in a post-FNAF phase, which, as feds go, it's going to happen. But yeah, Slenderman, the 8 pages, I do remember playing that myself after seeing it on other channels, Markiplier, Tobuscus, as I mentioned before. Yami Mash, I was watching him at the time too. Wow. Right before I started doing YouTube. I did not do YouTube Let's Plays of those games. It was just not going to happen. Well, I did them with some games, but it wasn't anything current or anything viral. I do have video footage around somewhere of playing FNAF. Like, it was just a demo. It was just the first night, but even that by itself was like a lot for me. Where it's like, okay, this isn't the exciting kind of horror. Like, oh, I like being involved with this, or I like the how close I was but didn't get it. You know, like working around it. It was more of the repelling kind. It was like, okay, I don't want to be involved with this anymore. I remember recording the video and then having the camera turn around to show like white facial expression on my face. Just, oh, I can't do this. I mean, spoiler alert, I did win. I did win the first night. I had no jump scares or anything like that. Nothing, you know, coming out and having to restart the game, restart the level or anything like that. None of that happened. But it was like, too much anxiety or paranoia or all those different feelings. I'm a bird, mother. Dancing about your avian background after feeling the beat. Yeah, some of these I think I was trying to play it up like it was a fancy definition of something. Like it's like the I forget what it's called, but that's definitely been a thing for a while as a meme where like you take a very simple phrase and you exaggerate the words on it to something that sounds more sophisticated or old English or something like that. Like, it's time to duel. I have announced I am declaring a, something like that. I'm trying to think of how a phrase like that works. I forget what it's called though. E-Logger, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. So I am looking through my first fan mail, never sent, the Tobuscus Dictionary of Epicosity. As far as pages go, again, I'll give you a brief look through there. This was literally copy and paste from the document that I had. Ooh, I don't know how to use a camera in 2020. Here we go. Okay. Wait. Almost. There we go. So that's how it looks. It wasn't entirely completed at the time. It wasn't completed anytime afterwards. I don't remember looking at it beyond printing this thing. Even looking at the DeviantArt document about it. It was a published document. It was as a piece of literature. I forget exactly the category that went with it. But I was always open to like, hey, if it's in the wrong category, let me know and I'll tweak it. But I would constantly go through there, updating it over time. I was a part of a Tobuscus fan page on DeviantArt in 2011, 2012. And they shared this as like our magnum opus, our big thing for the group, like getting everyone involved. There were a lot of different comments that would add stuff in here, small and large, from videos. So I do appreciate all of that help and support. I do feel bad in some way that it was never sent, but I will admit this, in its current state, in its last state, was not looking that exciting. Could have been done a little bit better. Could have looked a little bit cleaner on the inside. It could have had better pictures. I was not even printing in color. That's why I had the black and white image before of the literal trailer. Jump scare. I didn't even know if it was one word or two words. I spaced it. A common effect among YouTube celebrities. The frightening reaction when playing a horror game with unexpected surprises. And none of the definitions in here are supposed to be like this word, or like a noun, verb. I was not being particularly dictionary-like about it. It was just a hyphen in between. For some reason, some of these things they didn't like when you use a hyphen on a document, and it would like elongate the hyphen a little bit. Like it's not as bold as it was before for some reason. For some things in here, it didn't do that. I don't know why. And I knew I had the right spacing and everything, but maybe because of either the copy and paste, or I had to go back and change something that it just reverted it. So it's weird. Let's see. Take away Steven. Shh. A command to calm the wind when it becomes loud in Daisy vlogs. Okay, yeah, that's something that's like, okay, that's a typical thing. Anybody could say shh in any situation, but for relating to Tobuscus or Toby Turner material, that was something that was used a certain way. Okay, fine. I'm not gonna say every one of these. I'm not gonna justify every one of these. Let's see. A couple of them for W. What you got? Toby's way of stepping up to a challenge, like show me what you got kind of thing. Woo! An exclamation for fast-paced excitement. I should have had a pronunciation key in there for woo, but I could still do it. I remember some of the early videos I made on the Lego YouTube channel, Maniac for Bricks. I created a Tobuscus minifigure out of parts. I may or may not have done an animation based on it, or pictures, or something. I don't even know if it's still up there. Probably not. Or if I do, it's going to be in the compilation. There is one here for X. Again, I'm kind of surprised. Xbox, a gaming system developed by Microsoft that has led to the rise of Toby Games' career. I feel like it wasn't the only thing he used, even at that time. I'm sure he's used other systems. I mean, he played Little Big Planet on Toby Games, so he must have had some kind of PlayStation 3, maybe, at that time. There's only two definitions in the two basic words in here for Y. Couple things in here for Z. Apparently, I had his original mailing address for the P.O. box in here. I don't know why I put that in. It's probably not even valid anymore. So sending it now would do nothing. Again, this is so outdated. There would be no reason for me to use this. Font Aftershock Debris. SF Aftershock Debris. So that for like the what do you call it? The main channel like text. Like the logo for the channel. John's Bricks, how's it going? Yes, the second account. I've been doing a bunch of stuff on here almost every day or so. I'm gonna have something on the regular channel real soon, actually, related to Patreon, related to this. So I'll talk about that when we get over there. Toby has been trapped in. Oh, this is actually an interesting bonus thing to the. It wasn't all definitions. There was like a couple pages or so after this. Actually, it might have been more pages than the whole dictionary. With all this bonus content, this was the dictionary. Wow. Okay then. But yeah, there's basically chronologically talking about other things from Tobuscus that he's, Let's Plays or video series that he's had and listing them in order. Toby has been trapped in a vlog, in a studio, in an ad, in a career, in a pistachios ad, in a vlog again, in a hot tub, a commercial, Hot Pockets, a commercial, KFC, my dog's commercial, Ting. Toby Sucks At, and because that was the original title for a lot of his Let's Plays was Toby Sucks At Halo Reach, Toby Sucks at Little Big Planet, Toby Sucks at Portal 2, whatever the case may be. This isn't even updated. Or is it? It seems like a short list. And then it goes into Toby Game. I haven't even spell checked this. Toby Games Master List of Games in chronological order. Oh my goodness. That goes 2 pages. The last thing that I added in here as a Let's Play series that he had done was Uncraft Me. So that should give a perspective as to when I had last been keeping up with the channel. That said, even though I really liked Tobuscus at the time, I was not watching The Annoying Orange. I didn't care for it as a TV show. I didn't care for it as a YouTube adaptation. I thought the YouTube videos were fine, but there's no reason to make it a TV show. And the fact that he was on it was just kind of like, okay, cool. I know that. I know actors in movies, and I'll watch the whole movie for it, Collection of Toby's alter egos. The Annoying Orange YouTube series. Oh, just from the... I guess there was like a Wikipedia or something. I must have looked these up. Because again, if I wasn't watching the show, how did I know these? I probably had other people sourcing it. These are actually pretty short. It's a short list. I don't even know why I made this as its own category. Okay then. Toby song lyrics. There's the whole rest of this. I think it's about Toby song lyrics because a lot of songs, parodies, things like that. The section includes all of Toby's original songs. That does not include literal trailers or trapped in a commercial vlog or songs to avoid copyright issues. Sing along. for what I thought would avoid copyright issues at that time. Probably did. Again, a few misspellings in here, but okay. But the Wii is what you wanted, but the Wii is gone. I remember that. Oh, Dramatic Song was one of the best. I do remember listening to these quite a bit, several times. Some things I somewhat remember how they sounded. Why is this going for multiple pages? What? Okay. I'm gonna criticize 16-year-old me from the 25-year-old me. Why are they just one column per page? There's no reason. You could have easily, even in Word, even in Google Drive, could have just taken this and put it into like 2 columns on each page. Would have reduced the printing so much. Would have reduced the number of pages so much. Like that. There's the Fob song, High School Thoughts About College. Hot Symphony. Hot. Repeat. Because that's literally, as it said in the description of his video, was like, those are lyrics. He didn't actually break it down to like all the spacings of them, you know? I Can Swing My Sword. That was a good one. I Go to College for the Financial Aid. I'm a Bird Mother. It's Too Late. It's too late, I got a Mac. Yep, parody of One More Public. Mini Minotaur song, I do remember that. Okay, 2017, like June 2017, long time after I had been involved with anything Tobuscus related on YouTube or fan stuff like this. I remember June 2017, I was at a LEGO convention in Buffalo, New York. For some of the downtime when we were there, we went to a Savers, which is a discount store. It's like a Goodwill thrift store kind of thing. And I kid you not, they had buckets and buckets full of mini Minotaur plushes from Tobuscus. They were all sealed. And I'm pretty sure they still worked. I thought, hey, they're cheap. I'll buy one of them. I liked the Mini Minotaur song at the time, and I probably wouldn't have been like wanting to get that merch itself at that time. I was just like, oh, this is fun. It reminds me of this. I used to watch this guy a whole bunch. Why not? So I do have a Mini Minotaur plush that I bought at Savers. I never would have expected that. Wow, yeah, it was an interesting trip. The Needy Dog song. We're just a couple of guys who were in vices in Hawaii. Now we're having a candlelit dinner. Waiter brought me Aida. I said, bye, Aida. I remember with my friend John, we would sing the Two Guys in Hawaii song several times. We knew almost all the words by heart. Mini Minotaur. As soon as the song launched, there were no pages of lyrics available anywhere to find some of these things. I would have to rewatch and re-listen to the song multiple times, write down the lyrics as best as I could to figure it out, figure out the spacing of them, all that stuff. Safety Torch, Sideburns song. I don't have to show you all of these because the lyrics are pretty easy to find by this point. Floppy disk on the floor. Bow. There's a floppy disk on the floor. Trapped in an ad, Pop-Tarts. Trapped in a commercial, Hot Pockets. The Vine song is the last one that's in here. The last entry in the entire book is about the Vine song. And that's the full Vine song. Not actually the Vine, where it's 6 seconds and only a handful of lyrics. It's the thing he made based off of that. Yeah, I used to watch Vine too. Not just because it's Tobuscus, from a bunch of other people. Whole lot of memes. And that's what the last of it looks like. Well, except for the back page, of course. Which I literally just have these. I just found images from thumbnails or whatever, and I expand them in Word, try to fit them onto the pages on the front and back. At least these were in color. Bless your eyes. If you blinked while reading this, bless you. Peace off. Boop. It's fun. It was fun for a time. Again, not a creator that I've watched in a very long time, but something got me a little bit more into YouTube content, what is trending, what is what a regular creator is like on a daily basis. I remember in 2012, July 2012, when I started making YouTube videos, that same month, July 31st, 2012, I started watching Markiplier. And I'm not saying that's what killed Tobuscus, because I was watching Tobuscus, Yummy Mash, Yogscast, most specifically Blue Cephos, and sometimes one or two other guys from the group on their channels, like Skips. Trying to think. Yeah, there was Markiplier, there was PewDiePie. I would watch PewDiePie quite a bit. A whole bunch of people. Because it was a community, it was a sphere. It's YouTube. You watch a bunch of stuff on YouTube. You don't go on the website for one creator. For most people, I would say. So this was interesting to look back on, the Dictionary of Epicosity. Like I said, maybe it'll be fun to just have the file of all the text, of all the things I've written down in there. But there's no reason for me to keep this as a binder. There's no reason for me to send this to him, even if there's a new address, whatever the case may be. It's already outdated and from when I left off. I do thank everyone on DeviantArt who had actually contributed to this, through the comments, messages, whatever the case may be. I'm sorry that I never sent it at that time. I had a lot of other stuff going on. I was, still in high school. When was the last time that I did anything with this? Let me try to look for it. The last, okay, so August 4th, 2000. It says edit 8/4/13 on the title. Dictionary of Epicosity, first edition. I think that had to be a joke too, because I don't know if I was going to make more than one of these. As of August 2nd, 2013, that was the last time that I had updated things with this, printing anything on the website. So, yeah. I'm sorry I never sent it back then, but that was 2013. I was about to graduate high school, if I remember correctly. I was class of 2013. So, yeah, I would have been pretty busy with a lot of other stuff. And I think I was starting to mail stuff at that time, so it wasn't too foreign to me. But look at this. And look at this. That's not a lot of paper for quite a bit of binder. I'd rather use that for something else. It's more filling. It's going to have a lot more stuff to it in the future. You might even see on the corner of the screen right here, right there. I have a whole bunch of binders that I've shuffled out papers over time. Don't need all those papers anymore. Papers from high school, homework assignments I don't need, and trying to reuse the binders or just send them out to other people so they can take care of them. I think we're all done here. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. I don't should I do it? Maybe I'll do it for old time's sake. But do subscribe. Outro of darkness, then redness, then whiteness, then boop. Somehow that felt good, even though I don't know if I'm coming back to that.